right now on 12 News at 10.
I'm Tiani Jadling in the newsroom. A 17-year-old is in custody after a deadly teen shooting in El Mirage. The victim's family speaks out, saying their fight for justice isn't over. What we're learning about the arrest tonight.
And First Friday looks a little different tonight, with no street closures or vendors. How organizers are refocusing the event.
I'm Chase Golightly in downtown Phoenix, where we saw a Mayday protest take place, with many taking to the streets demanding better living wages for workers and affordability for families.
Temperatures are heating up just in time for the weekend, but I'm also tracking some rain chances for parts of the state.
12 News at 10 starts now.
Good evening. Tonight, a 17-year-old is in custody in connection to the El Mirage shooting that killed 17-year-old Ashton Rashay Evans. Thanks for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Mark Curtis. The victim's family tells us he was walking to the store with a friend when he was shot multiple times near El Mirage and Cactus Roads on Monday. 12 News journalist Tiani Jadling is in studio after speaking with the victim's family and has details on the arrest. Tiani?
Mark, we know that Rashay Evans was transported to the local hospital that night, where he later died. Yesterday, police arrested 17-year-old Shiloh Alben-Niyibizi. He's been booked into the Maricopa County Juvenile Detention Center, and despite the arrest, the family says they'll continue to fight for justice. Since Tuesday, friends and family of 17-year-old Ashton Rashay Evans have gathered at this memorial site every sunset.
I feel like when the sun sets, it's the most beautiful display of God's work. And my son was a full example of God's work.
Amanda Evans, the victim's mother, says despite it being feet away from where her son was shot, it's become a place where their family's loved ones can gather and remember the teen. Just today, the El Mirage Police Department releasing new details about a suspect in the case. A 17-year-old out of Surprise. Shiloh Alben-Niyibizi is being charged with second-degree murder, attempted second-degree murder, as well as several other felony and misdemeanor charges related to the incident. Evans sat in the suspect's initial court hearing and tells us she's disturbed by the details read aloud.
He deserves to spend the rest of his life in prison for what he took from all of us.
The El Mirage Police Department didn't release any additional information regarding the arrest or how they tied the surprise teen to the killing. On the night of the shooting, this is just some of what neighbors heard. El Mirage PD did tell 12 News Niyibizi was injured by gunfire the night of the incident. Moving forward, Evans wants to focus on fighting to have her son's name honored.
I feel like justice is still coming. I feel that there are more individuals involved in the case that still need to be brought to justice, but that story will come out.
There are still some unanswered questions, but El Mirage Police Department was unavailable to speak to us today. They say this is still an active investigation. Live in studio, I'm Tiani Jadling, 12 News.
Tiani, thanks. Tonight we have updates on multiple cases we've been following on 12 News. First, a former Phoenix police officer has been sentenced after pleading guilty to 2 counts of sexual abuse back in February. Michael Martinez was sentenced to 1.5 years in prison and 10 years probation for sexually abusing 2 women while on duty in 2022. Martinez may also have to register as a sex offender. And Peoria teacher Amy Beck is set to return to the classroom on Monday. She's the mom of TikTok star Noah Beck. Earlier this week, she was placed on administrative leave after inappropriate social media video of her and her son resurfaced from 2020. Beck works at Coyote Hills Elementary School. The Peoria School District says they've addressed concerns regarding the video and have taken appropriate measures. This comes after her daughter Haley was fired from her teaching job at Centennial High School amid allegations that she had sexual relations with a student there. National Park Rangers are releasing new details tonight in the search for a missing man at the Grand Canyon. Sundersh Krishna was last seen on the Rim Trail. Tonight, officials want to speak to the man who turned in Krishna's backpack at the Bright Angel Lodge. This is a picture of him. Hotel staff didn't know it was connected to the missing man, but now officials say although he is not a suspect, it's likely that he could have information that could help the investigation. From San Francisco to New York City, thousands of rallies took place across the country today for International Workers' Day, also known as Mayday. Here in the Valley, hundreds took to the streets of downtown Phoenix, demanding better conditions for workers and affordability for families. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly has been out there all day, and tonight he's live at Margaret T. Hance Park, where the march started. Chase?
Yeah, Mark, just a few hours ago, this entire area behind me was filled with organizers and protesters. As you mentioned, these demonstrations take place all across the country, but this one also focused on issues they see right here in Arizona. Together, they marched with the same message.
Workers over billionaires.
It's called the Mayday protests. Many took over the streets of downtown Phoenix, chanting as they walked past restaurants, office buildings, and neighbors.
We're emphasizing the importance of our labor force and as the backbone of not only our democracy, but our ability to thrive.
Phoenix police led them along the way, making sure nothing got out of hand before they returned back to Margaret T. Hance Park to continue their message.
Looking at the U.S., we have all the resources provided to us. We are the wealthiest nation, and we should be able to create a society that actually works in benefit for the workers rather than against it.
And we really want to tax the rich. We want a redistribution of wealth to the rest of the people of the country. The top 1% should not hold the power, should not hold all the money.
Part of that is asking people on this day to not go to work, school, or shop at major corporations or big box stores.
They're taking the affordability away from the working class people and even some of the poor people that were able to even get by.
As much as this focused on workers' rights and living wages, it was also about problems everyday Arizonans are facing.
For me, it's pretty much the economy. The war in Iran is causing gas prices to go up. Grocery prices are high.
Talking about lack of affordable housing, rent prices and utility rates going up, along with the concern of AI taking over jobs.
Still see the rising child poverty. We're still seeing our veterans who have fought so hard for us out in the streets, nothing to eat. And why is that when we live under such an abundantly rich society?
Wanting this day to be where anyone experiencing this to stand up and have their voices heard. And as far as counter-protesters, we didn't see any. Again, there was a police presence here at the park and also while the protesters were taking to the streets. We're live in downtown Phoenix. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Chase, thanks. A busy night on Roosevelt Road tonight, but the usual First Friday festivities looked a little bit different. There weren't any street closures or vendors out there, and that's how it will look from now on until organizers reevaluate how Roosevelt Row is involved in the monthly event. This comes after several violent incidents happened in the area in recent months. First Friday will still continue, but the traditional street market setup is being adjusted. All right, let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Riley. And Linz, it's the beginning of May, and it's already starting to feel warmer out there.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
We're on a bit of a roller coaster ride with our temps, and we're going up for the weekend. Today we hit 90. We will be warmer than that on both Saturday and Sunday. Beautiful evening, though, tonight. It is 82 in downtown Phoenix, 86 degrees in Lake Havasu. Up to the north, we've had some stubborn clouds, a few very light showers, but these are dwindling down. By the time you wake up tomorrow morning, bright sunny skies all across the state. So it's going to be a beautiful but warm Saturday. Forecasted high 95 in the valley, mostly sunny, but all across the state on Sunday, we are going to add some clouds. Despite those clouds, we're still reaching 97. It's going to be even warmer. And the clouds are going to stick around into Monday. Now up in the high country tomorrow, 60s and 70s and mostly sunny. However, by the time we get to Sunday, we add the clouds. By Monday, we add the wind, and we're tracking some rain chances. Your hour-by-hour forecast in just a few minutes. Mark?
Linz, thanks. As we enter our hottest months, hundreds of heat relief centers with hydration stations and cooling centers are officially back open across the valley. These spaces will remain open until September 30th. To find a center, check operating hours, or to see if they're pet-friendly, head to 12news.com for our interactive heat relief map. Meanwhile, Governor Katie Hobbs says relief is coming for Arizonans struggling with high utility bills.
Last month, we launched Power AZ, expanding utility assistance across Arizona. 50% of Arizonans qualify for this program, but you must apply.
If your income falls below the median household level, you may qualify for assistance. For example, a family of four making just under $108,000 a year would be eligible. The state, through the Department of Economic Security, can provide up to $640 per household to help with utility bills. Tonight, a Phoenix woman is reminding hikers to be smart after a single decision led to devastating consequences for her brother. 12 News journalist Jade Cunningham has her emotional story.
We were 2 years apart. He was the big brother.
People say time heals all wounds.
We grew up hiking in Arizona. We were both born in Arizona, natives.
But it's been more than a decade since Chelsea McHale's brother, Clint, died.
He loves sunrises, he loves sunsets.
And the pain has only deepened.
It's hard to explain because he was my only sibling. And he had so much more life left to live. He had so many more sunrises to wake up to. He had so much more love to give.
On May 4th, 2011, the 25-year-old was hiking Camelback with a friend.
One time he decided to go off trail.
A decision that changed everything.
And when he was about to go to the top, he started to slip. So he told his friend that he was with, to grab his hand. And unfortunately, his friend couldn't hold on much longer and he fell 50 feet.
In the years since,
so it's all centered around safe hiking.
Chelsea has turned heartbreak to action, sharing her brother's story, even placing a safety sign on Camelback.
Don't do what he did. Stay on the trail, be prepared, know your limits. And if today's not the day for you to finish your hike, that's okay. Don't feel defeated because you can come another day because the mountain will still be here and so will you.
The goal is for hikers to make the right choices.
Because at the end of the day, I just want you to come home safely to your family because I think we take that for granted, coming home safely.
Now with the 15-year anniversary of her brother's death nearing,
I don't cry necessarily at the memories. I'm more grateful at the memories.
Chelsea's grief hasn't faded, but neither has her purpose.
We're essentially working together just in different ways. He may have passed on, but we're still working together as brother and sister in saving lives.
And she's determined to turn her family's loss into a lesson others will never forget. Jay Cunningham, 12 News.